Hello, hello, Plannerettes. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. It is brain dumping session time here. It is Sunday afternoon, or well, morning still, sorry, here in Sydney, Australia. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. I hope you are having a good afternoon, evening, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. If you are here in the live, make sure to say hello. And of course, if you are here there and you're new to my channel, type new in the chat as well as the comment section so then I can welcome you and thank you so much as I appreciate your company today. So we have Brenda already in the house. Melinda is doing some quilting while she's listening in and she's already done her brain dump. Well done, Brenda. And Elle is here as well. Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday. So today we are going to do two powerful things together, a brain dump and setting up a running to-do list. So for those of you new to my channel, make sure to type, like I said, new in the comment section so I can welcome you. I always love seeing new names in the comment section there. Now, I will briefly go through what brain dumping is as well as what a running to-do list is based on the Alistair method. But I do have videos that explain each one in more detail, so make sure to check them out. The video links are in the description below. So let me know if you are here, what drink are you having? Are you just relaxing, listening along, or are you also going to be doing brain dumping session with me? So for today, in this session, I'll be using the brain dump printable that you can grab for free when you sign up to my weekly email newsletter. So the details are there and you get lots of other free printable download to add into your planning system. But for today, a plain blank paper or notebook page will be fine if you do not have the brain dump guide and my brain dump printable download yet. But make sure you do, because it's a nice little thing to have in your planner system. So if you are ready, I am ready. So let's go. Okay, so what is brain dumping? Brain dumping is just getting everything out of our head and onto paper. So there's no judgment, no structure, just clearing mental clutter. And it's really powerful because it helps you reduce the stress that you may be feeling, especially coming to the end of the week, having to think up the new week that's coming up. They call it, I think, Sunday scaries. There's a name for it now, where you feel that anxiety just before starting the new work week. It also helps increase clarity. So instead of having all those thoughts, running around in your head, bouncing from side to side, it'll help you be more clear on what's happening, what you need to do, and any thoughts that may not, be taking up space and not actually matter, or it may not be true. And of course, it does make space for creativity. Speaking of creativity, Melinda's in New Zealand doing some quilting. I've been doing some paint by numbers and making sure I am taking that self-care and well-being time for myself, because I'm slowly, even though I do plan a lot, I do slowly realize that how important it is to make space and time and be intentional to do things that have those creativity, fun, a sense of joy. So really, really important. Melinda is Sunday in New Zealand as well, same here as in Sydney, Australia. Brenda's having some sparkling water and doing the brain dump along with me. Thank you so much, Brenda. And I thought, well, look, I didn't do the Monday live stream because of the Easter long weekend. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to be an advocate of my own, recommendation of taking time off and having that break. And yeah, my energy level the last few days has been really low and the motivation hasn't been there. So that time off has been really, really helpful. So if you too are having those sort of moments where overwhelm and stress is taking over and you can't think properly, do really take some time for yourself. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you. Looking forward to some relaxation time with y'all. Thank you, Susan. Nice to see you. I appreciate you being here. All right. So I call it my planner first aid reset kit, where I have my printables here for those times where my normal routine planning system may just be too overwhelming. So this holds the planner pages that I need, where I just strip it it back to basics, and we're brain dumping, running to-do list and daily planner pages, just because, even though, yes, we may not have the energy, and yes, we may be stressed, yes, we may be overwhelmed, life goes on around us and we still have to function, but we can do that with some gentle planning. So I have the brain dump guide because, the real good reason to have the guide there, even though, if you do it regularly or on a weekly basis, is it takes away the decision fatigue. So you don't have to try and think up what is it the next thing I'm supposed to do. It's right there, step one, step two, step three, and then I just saw that I have step one there. So I've just realized, there you go, probably in my when I was setting it up. So I'll make sure to update that, and no one else spotted it. So I'll make sure to update everyone, if you are a little, or you can just go and get a marker. Let's see, where is a marker around here? Let's just do this one and just put step 4. There you go, nobody knows. All right, so that this is free when you sign up to my email newsletter, or if you do join up my plannerettes community. So I've just popped in the chat right now on how you can sign up for my weekly email newsletter, and you not only do you get the guide, but you also get the brain dumping page. So it's just a simple, grid page, and just a nice little font on brain dump. And so, even though you're stripping it back to basics, we still want to make our planner pages look pretty. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down anything that's on our mind. So that could be tasks, worries, random thoughts. Let's empty it all out together on paper, so then that way we can see it a lot clearer. Instead of it bouncing in our head, it's right in front of us, it's visual, and then we can make a little bit more sense out of it. So I will have a 10-minute timer on screen, and if you have exhausted all your thoughts before that, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do nothing for the rest of the time. I know you'll probably want to reach out for your phone, but don't. Take this time to just sit there and have a true break for yourself. Look outside the window. It's a little bit dreary here in Sydney, Australia, although I did close the blinds because sometimes the changing light outside can affect the video. But just sit there and just close your eyes, maybe pop, if you have to go and pop on some music, well, there'll be music on my timer, but just sit there and do nothing. Doing nothing actually may conjure up more thoughts, and then you keep writing them down on your brain dump page. And really, trust me, more thoughts will pop up, and when they do, just write it down. So Melinda says, that's why I do my meal prep on a Sunday. I just have to come home and cook my dinner. Well done. I love that. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Finally, yes, we're here together. All right, so I'm going to put a 10-minute timer on the screen. So grab your brain dump page, or a nice clean page, just a normal copy paper. Grab your favorite pen, and remember, it doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to make sense. Whoops, it doesn't have to be grammatically correct. If you want to swear, and let out your frustration on paper. So I will see you on the other side of 10 minutes, and just get everything down. Okay, tasks, bills, events, appointments, funny thoughts, jokes, anything that do pop up. Hello, Ronnie Cat. Nice to see you. We're just about to start the 10-minute timer for our brain dump session. Let us go. If I can. that 10 minutes went quite fast actually. And Susan says, super lovely music. Yes, I made sure that the music will be soft and kind and gentle and compassionate, especially if you are going through a difficult moment. And sometimes when you have to write things down, it can be confronting. So we need some sort of like a warm hug. So the music is also important. So thank you. I appreciate that. And Elle agrees as well. How are you, Elle? Nice to see you. Now, okay, so I've done my brain dumping. So let me know, how did you go? Do you feel a lot lighter? If you do need a little bit more time, of course, you can always come back and put the timer on for another 5, 10 minutes. But what I have been finding, and let me know if it's the same with you, that the more you do the brain dump on a regular or weekly basis, then the clutter isn't as cluttered. It's more manageable. It's on a weekly basis rather than having all those thoughts that have probably been in there for a long, long time. Now, it's a lot easier to manage. And for me in particular, there's less and less negative thoughts, less and less self doubt or comparison or imposter syndrome, or all the things that I say to myself that, if I really challenge it, is not true. So hopefully, if you too have been brain dumping along with me, I started this at the beginning of March, and we've been doing it, pretty much on a regular weekly basis. I hope that it is making it a little bit lighter, a little bit easier for you to manage all those thoughts. Melinda says, agree as well with the music. Oh, and I'm so happy you are here too. Thank you, Elle. Always a lovely pleasure to have you in the live chat and, of course, in the comments and seeing your lovely face on your own channel. So do check out Elle Naturally's YouTube channel. So she talks about skincare, face, and hair care. So really important to do that, not only for the outside, but also looking after ourselves on the inside. All right. So now what do we do with this? You know what? In the past, when I thought of brain dumping and I did it myself, I left it at that. I just went, all right, I've cleared out all those thoughts. It's now down on paper. I'll just either put that away or not even look at it. But we can go and move to the next step, and we can now categorize everything that we have written down into sections, because this next step is what will help you, organize these thoughts. And so instead of one big clump of clutter and just overwhelm, we are now going to sort through it. And so I'm going to put a timer for each thing that each category that we do. So in your brain dump guide, we have, now I have used these color code, but you can change it up, whatever color code will make sense to you. So I have green for things that I need to do today or tomorrow that may have come up during my brain dump. Blue is things that I need to look at within the week. Purple, is there any task or any thoughts that came up that I need to address within the month or the next 30 days? And yellow is, are there things that came up, but not in the immediate month, but maybe later down the track? So I'm going to use yellow. And here it says red, but for the zebra mild liner, there's no true red. So I'm going to use a pink for those things that aren't important, that's just taking up space, but really, maybe, like I said, there's negative thoughts or self-doubt or limiting beliefs that, if we really look into it and challenge it, is it true? Maybe not. So why are we letting it take space in our brain? So the first one we're going to do, all right, so I'm going to use the green. So I'm going to add my color coding on the actual brain dump page. So then that way I remember what the colors are for. Again, the reason why we do these color coding or create guides is for when we're in the moment, when maybe our mental capacity, our emotional, our well-being is not at 100%. Instead of having to try and decide what's the next step again, and having to have that, make that cognitive decision, we're removing that friction, we're removing that decision fatigue. So then that way, we're using up our energy, or maybe what's left, if we only have 10%, to give today. We're not trying to figure out what's the next step. And then, of course, that's when procrastination happens. So that's why having guides, having color codes to make things easier and visual will help you decide a lot quicker than having to try and figure it out all out or remember. So for green, it's today and tomorrow. So have a look at your brain dump, go through each one, and then either highlight, or in my case, I like to circle around it, or, create little boxes around it, and just go, is there anything on my brain dump list that I need to address today or address tomorrow? So either action today or follow up or whatever it is for today and tomorrow. So I'm going to put the timer on. We're just going to put for 1 minute. Again, if you do need more time later, then just go back and categorize the today and tomorrow. Let's go. Okay, so how did you go? Were you able to highlight or circle around the things that you need to look at today and tomorrow? It makes it easier that way, because now instead of one big clutter, we're now just sorting them out. So then the next one is, so whatever color code you're using, so I'm using blue, which is for the week. What things on my brain dump do I need to look at or address for the next 7 days? So I'm going to go use blue. So then you go through your brain dump list as well and highlight or color code anything that you need to look at for this week. Okay. So they've got a few things that I need to look at from my brain dump for the week of Monday, 28th of April to, I think, the 4th of April. Is that right? So I've got a few blue ones. So then the next category that I want you to go and review is for, are there things on your brain dump that you need to look at for the month? Or, sometimes when you do a brain dump, you might be in the middle of the month. So for the next 30 days at least. All right. So grab your grab your marker, have a look and see what you need to go and look at for the month. Melinda says, I have put brain dump in as part of my weekly reset. Yes, it's so important now that when we think of these, it's sort of like you know how when you have to just think of an analogy. So you need to go and clear the table, the dining table, before you set it up for dinner, right? For your meal. So it's like that. It's decluttering, taking things off the table, wiping it nice and clean, and then putting it all back down in a nice, orderly fashion. Um, Ronnie Cat says the music does sound smooth. Yes, I've got to have some smooth music, and help not jar the eardrums with music that's not soothing. So thank you so much, Ronnie Cat. All right, are we ready? So for me, purple is going to be, what things on my brain dump do I need to look at and address for the next 30-day or this month? Let's go. Okily dokily. All right. So I've got a few, one, two, three, four things that I need to review within the month. So I have to make space for that in my planner. So if you have a, dated calendar, you can either put it in already in the calendar, or if you have a future log. But like I said, if you want to find out more information on how in more detail the brain dumping, I do have the video in the link. So then that way, if you go look at, because today's really session is let's do it together, very brief explanation, but all the videos that goes through in more detail is in the description below. So what's the next category we need to look at? Now, a lot of the times, the things that overwhelm us, that take space in our brain, things that we need to do, don't know when we need to do them, or don't know yet the outcome, but I want to keep it in my head because if I don't, I'm going to forget it. But don't do that. Write it down. And then once you've written it down, you put it in a trusted spot, a list. I have a list of stuff that you can go and review at least, middle of the month or at the end of the month and go, yes, that's right. 2 weeks ago, when I did my brain dump, I said, I'd really like to go and check out that restaurant, down the road or whatever it is. And so you don't want it to be taking up space in your brain, because our brain is not supposed to remember all these stuff. It's supposed to be for the creativeness and fun and joy, right? Not a memory bank. So the yellow, for me, the color code is, what out of your brain dump you would like to do, but it's not in the immediate future. So it's not this month, maybe it's for next month or later down the track or at the end of the year. So I'm going to put here for the future. So I'll put the timer on for 1 minute and then just go through. Now, if there's not, for me, as you can see, there's only one left. Take this time to see if there's anything else you want to brain dump, or how about this? If you have categorized everything, these 1 minute timer, have a think. What can I do this week that is something for me, a self-care or something that's creative? Okay, let's go. Okay, all right. So I have one there for the future. Now, the final category is, remember how at the beginning of the brain dump I said that you'll just write everything down, no filtering, no judgment. If you're upset, if you're angry, if you have any doubts, shoulda, woulda, coulda, I'm missing out, I'm falling behind, I should be over, be further ahead, anything like that, they are valid, right? They're taking up space because your body and your mind and your emotional well-being is going, this is causing us stress, right? So that's why it's taking up space. So it's important that we acknowledge it. We go, yes, okay, I'm doubtful, I think that I'm not good at what I'm doing, that I think I'm not good enough at this, or I'm not good enough at that, or I should be further ahead, or why aren't I, why is my colleague doing better than me, all these things, right? So acknowledge it, write it down, and then what we do with those is we challenge it. So for me, I actually, just brief moment, just then I had sort of like a scary thought of, our financial well-being. So we worry about money, and like a lot of people, one of the top stresses are money and financial well-being. So that came, so my thought here is that I'm scared, will we have enough, in our retirement or things like that. So I'm going to challenge it. So if the worst things comes to worse, will we be out of a home? Will we not eat? Of course not. My husband and I, we can easily find something, a job, or take 10 jobs or whatever it is. So I'm going to cross that off, because at this stage there is nothing to worry about. So for this one, the red or the pink for me is things that don't, let me have a look at my brain dump, not important. Okay, so it shouldn't, not important, or it's not true. So have a look. If you did write any of those down, challenge it. Are you really not good at something, or are you really falling behind? And then if you are, then that's a thought is, well, what can I do? What small step can I take to get me out of this thought, out of this negative, self doubt? All right. So I'll give you a minute just to have a look at your brain dump list. All right, so here we are. At the beginning, our brain dump was blank. And then we had all these random thoughts, random tasks to do. And then we categorized each and every one of them. And of course, if you do need more time to categorize, if you wrote lots of things down, go back and just have a look at each one. What is it that you need to do for today and tomorrow? What is it that you need to address for the week, address for the month? anything that come up that you may need to look at later down the track in the future, or if there's anything that's taking up space that doesn't matter or that is not true, cross it off. Okay, so and then I've just added the date there, so then that way I know exactly the brain dump. As you can see, some of my brain dump that I haven't actioned or haven't migrated in my to-do list, because at the time I saw that, you know what, that is not a priority at the moment. So even though, let's say for this one, I had something for the to address for the month, I think that was in March. You know what, at the time, it's not something that's as important or a priority, but I'm keeping it there. So then when I review at the end of the month, let's have a look at our brain dump and what is it that we can action today, tomorrow, this week, and this month. Okay, so look at that. Now it's all categorized. Before it was like, blah, right? Now it's all pretty. Hello, Claire. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. What a treat to be here and what a treat to have you here. Thank you so much. Melinda says, I'm using those feelings and doubts and putting them on a separate page and then addressing them. I've got a lot of out of this. I'm finding I'm not getting these negative thoughts as frequently. Yes, me too. I do have in my I don't know if I where I have that. I have a different brain dump list for worries, anxious thoughts. So then, because when I do have in those moments, I there's more thoughts that I need to address. So this brain dump, really, a lot of it now is for the things that I need to look at, within the week or month. And so instead of going, because what will happen is I'll be all excited the night before, I've planned everything, and then of course the next day, those self-doubt creep in and just go, Marianne, you're no good. And then I freeze. But when I have a list of things to do and a list of what I need to do today or tomorrow, or time block, that between 9 to 11, I've got to do this. Between 11 to 12, I've got to brain dump. 12 to 1, I've got to have lunch. 1 to 2, get outside, get some fresh air. When I have low energy and I can't think for myself, I refer back to my planner list, and brain dumping helps you do that. So I'm so glad, Melinda, that the brain dump and doing it frequently is creating less and less self-doubt and negative thoughts. That's what we want to happen, to do a brain dump on a regular basis. Now, of course, if you are liking this video, please hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. And of course, it tells YouTube algorithm on all that stuff that, hey, people are liking Marianne's video. Let's show it to other people who are also interested in planning, productivity, looking after themselves and well-being, or those of us who might be high functioning but sometimes get in our own head and get overwhelmed and anxious. Create some gentle planning and create some intentional planning, so then that way we can take those tiny little steps to make sure we create progress. Not about perfection, but just creating progress and creating that momentum. All right, so what is the next thing to do? The next is a running to-do list. All these great things is we're now going to go and put it in a to-do list that we can look at for the week. And so now this is the running to-do list based on the Alistair method. So you can grab this in my shop. It has both a Monday start or a Sunday, so you can pick which one depending on how you plan your week. And so all we're going to do now is we're going to look at the green, the today, tomorrow, and the blue. Nothing else. Because this is the whole thing, is we're now narrowing it down. The big clutter, write it down on paper, let's categorize it, and now let's just look at things today, tomorrow, and the week. Anything else for the rest of the month? Guess what? We can look at that next week. And so now, before it was this big clump, and now we've just narrowed it down and making it easier, reducing that decision fatigue. Okay, so what have we got here? So it is going to be April 28th, which is tomorrow. I'm going to do tomorrow because I've already technically written down my to-dos for today. And then May the 4th. Is it Star Wars Day on Sunday? May the 4th be with you. Yes, it is. May and 4th. Okay, just, we still got to make it colorful. We still got to make our pages colorful. And then here, I'm going to now grab, where is my pen? I'm going to grab my other pen now. Oh, no, I can't grab it. Yes, I can. Come on, Marianne, you can grab it. Okay. All right, so let's put the date. So I'll put the date afterwards. So what I want you to do now is go through your list. So the greens for me, so easy now because I've color coded all the greens and the blues. I'm just going to write it down on this column here. To do appointments, events, habits, and routines. In no particular order. We're not doing anything about organizing what we need to do yet. All we're doing is listing down the things in your green, so today and tomorrow, and the things in the blue. Okay, so do that, and then I'll put a 5-minute timer, and I'll see you on the other side of the timer. Let's go. Okay, so what I've just done, for those of you who may have just joined, I have brain dumped, I categorized it, I looked at the today and tomorrow and this week tasks, thoughts, to dos, anything that I need to address for those days. I transferred it into a running to do list. So, what is a running to do list? It's based on the Alistair method. So, instead of having a daily to do list that you rewrite constantly, this one evolving list you just update throughout the week, and just make sure you keep all your tasks on the one page. Don't try and write any more tasks. But if you go, but Marianne, I've got so many tasks. Well, that's where the overwhelm and the anxiety will come in, is because if you start to put more tasks on a second page, that means you're putting too much on your plate. All right, that means you're not making room for self care. You're not making room for breaks. And this is when you start to go, but what do I do with those things, Marianne? And if I'm supposed to do all of them, you can't do all of them. And that's where the overwhelm, that's when the procrastination, that's when we get stressed, right? So we now get to have an opportunity to prioritize. So even though I had all these today, tomorrow, and this week lists, I might start to go, oh, okay, I'm running out of space. Okay, which of these can I leave till next week? Which of these tasks can I delegate to someone else? And which of these tasks does it really matter? Is it really important? Does it make in the big scheme of thing, does it matter to me? Because a lot of the things that's on our tasks and to-do list are for other people's agenda. We answer emails right away. We reply to text. We reply to DMs because we go, oh, it must be important. I've got to reply to them right away. And then we put our own things on the side because we want to please, because that's what we want to do. We want to please people. We want to try and make sure that we're making other people happy. That's all fine and that's all great, but we got to look after ourselves first. So then that way we can look after others and we can go and help them with the things that matter to them. So really important, keep your task for the week on one page. Now the benefit of a running to-do list is it's going to reduce your decision fatigue, because then you don't have to try and figure out, what am I supposed to do for the week? We've written it down. It keeps our task visible on the one page, so we won't miss out on anything if it's on the other page and we're flipping back and forth. And then also it's going to help make prioritizing a lot easier, because then you go, all right, when do we need to do that? When do we need to do this? Okay, let's have a look. So from our brain dump, we already know which out of those lists are for today or tomorrow. So then we can start marking it down that, okay, well, that's for if you're on Saturday or Sunday or for Monday, whatever, you get to start noting it down. So how do we set up the to-do list? And so we write things down in no particular order, right? So it doesn't have to be in chronological order. We write down the things from our brain dump. What other things do we need to write on here? You go check out your calendar, when you set up your calendar at the beginning of the month with known events, no bills to pay. Go look at that and just look at what's coming up for the week. Let me have a look. I'll show you mine. Okay, so we've got April calendar. So I've got on here, so there's the 28th. I haven't set up the beginning of the month yet, but there's a payment is coming through on the 29th. Oops. Let me pop that back on the 29th. So I'm just going to write that down on my to-do list, so then I can keep an eye out for it. So then, one of my tasks and routine is making sure that I am what do you call this? I am aware of money movement, money going in, money going out. So then that way I don't wonder, where all our money went. So that one based on my calendar, that is on Tuesday. A payment's coming through on Tuesday. So all I do is I put a little dot on the column that says Tuesday. So I don't even have to look at that until I look at my tasks and to-dos for the 29th. All right, what other things do you need to put on your running to-do list? Any routines or habits that you want to make sure that is on top of mind. So for me, working out. So I have given myself a challenge to work out 4 days a week. So I purchased an app because I really, I'm not happy with the my reflection when I see myself, or when you walk past window, and so when you look to check yourself out, I'm not happy with it. So I've got to do something about it. So I can't keep going, oh, I'm not happy, I don't look good, and then not do anything about it. So I'm going to do that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Okay, so put any habits or routines that you want to be more effective, or be on top of, on your running to-do list, because remember, this is a living list. You can add to it. If there's later down the track you go, oh, I don't need to do that, you can cross it off. And like I said, one page only, keep it visible. And the thing to here's some tips on what to write is, don't worry about the order, because we're going to mark the days we want to action it. All right, so just get things down. And the great thing is, when you do a running to-do list right after a brain dump, it's all written down for you. You already know what you need to do today, tomorrow, and for the week. And then and like I said, write down daily habits, any morning routine. So if you've got any vitamins or medication that you need to take, that you need to try and remember, write those things too. So you may have been gone, oh, geez, I write down things so many times. But until you get things and become in a habitual routine, and if you're always forgetting about things, the more prompts, the more reminders, the better. Because then you don't have to think about trying to remember it yourself. If you go and check your to-do list, you go, oops, I didn't take my medicine. I better do that right now. Okay. So, how do we assign tasks for the week? Well, we already know what the things are for today and tomorrow. So, what you do on this running to do list is you just mark down, okay, so I've got to do the May cover page. So, technically, that's for today. So, I'm going to put an S here for Sunday. So, that's today. Let's have a look. I got to do that on Tuesday. So, just go down the list. I'll do that on a Wednesday, and then I want to do that on a Friday. So go down your list. You already know the todays and tomorrow, and then anything else for the week, note it down. So how do you know when to what day to assign your task? Keep your task for each day around about 3 to 5 tasks only, or 5 to 7 tasks per day. Don't overload yourself. Right, put a little small dot on the day that you want to action those things are on there, or when they are, if there's appointments, and avoid overloading your days that are already full. So if you see that maybe on a Thursday you already have, like, 7 dots on there, don't put any more things on there, because then that's where you're going to start again being overwhelmed and anxious and stressed. And don't put things on your days off. Make sure you take some breaks. Maybe you'll have 1 or 2 tasks to do, but make sure not to put too many tasks on your day off, or when you should be taking a break. And then put similar tasks on the same day. So, if you're doing admin work, do it all on the same day, so then you can batch action them. All right. So let me know, do you have a running to-do list like this, or something similar? And remember, like I said, if you wanted to create your own running to-do list, you can just get a notebook. And let me see where I wrote this one down. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So you can just draw up, columns for the 7 days of the week, and then the column for your tasks and to-dos, and then create the little, key things there. And so you don't have to get my printable, but if you've got a printer at home and you've got copy paper, and you like to create your own planner printable, or print your own planner printable, then that is one less worry and one less task on your list. Okay, so running to do list. So this is great because it helps prioritize the important tasks for you. So make sure any important task, or maybe more difficult tasks to do, where you I don't, don't really want to do this, try and action them early in the week, and make sure the reason why you only want to assign either 3 to 5 tasks per day or 5 to 7 is you need to leave some breathing room for any unexpected things that come up. All right, so let me know, how do you feel after today's brain dump and then sorting out your tasks and to dos for today, tomorrow, and the week? Again, remember, I go into more detail for brain dumping, the running to do list. There's separate videos on each. The link is in the description below. So if you're new to my channel, or if you haven't done any of these before and feeling a little bit lost, it's okay. Like any new things, it takes time, but I'm here for you. Write down any questions you have in the comment section so then I can see it. And then also, if there are questions that are coming up a lot, then I can create a video to address those questions. All right, so how do we feel? Do we feel good? Type yes in the live chat right now if you are feeling good. And remember, if this was really helpful, to hit that thumbs up button. Okay, so today we've done a brain dump. We've cleared our mind and we've created an actionable plan for the week without the overwhelm. So a quick recap, you now have a cleaner mind, so maybe you might need to do a little bit more time to empty out that mind even more, right? So you should have a bit of a lighter, cleaner mind and a flexible to-do system. Okay, so like I said, if you're feeling a little bit lost, it's okay. All the details of the brain dump and the running to-do list videos are in the description. So Brenda says, yes, feeling good. Melinda, thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, so now I won't go through this because there is the planner reset video to show you the next step, okay, which is now all the things you need to do today. You just either action them off this list, or if you're like me and like to write them even, in a daily planner, and then that's where you will write it down. You'll write down all, let's say for, so I've got to create the May cover page. I've got to prepare for tomorrow's live stream. So I will put it in a daily planner. So for May, I'm moving into a personal size because I need some excitement and some fun and some joyful things. So changing things up and keeping that novelty, it allows for some playfulness. And, so I'll go through this planner once I've set it up and do a planner flip through. So do watch out for that video. All right, so we've written it down. The today and tomorrow, if you want to migrate that into a daily planner page, you can do so. Again, it'll be the planner first aid reset kit video that goes through that. So, but ask me any question, pop it in and just go, Marianne, where's that video we're talking about? Please let me know, and then I'll reply with the direct link. Now, if you are feeling still, a little bit low energy and you're still feeling overwhelmed, I highly recommend the video I did recently where I was feeling quite lost last week. For a few days, my energy was low. I was questioning myself. Now, in this video, so if you're tired, I show you 3 things that you need to do to have what I call a gentler plan, where you're just going to take it easy, still have a little bit of tiny little structure, so then that way you're not feeling overwhelmed. So I just couldn't figure out why I just wasn't getting anything done. And yes, my vitamin D level is very, very low. That's probably, because I haven't getting myself outside because of all the overwhelm, the anxious thoughts, and all the, the big decisions we have to make as a family. And so I've just been sitting on the couch and, been sitting with my emotions. But I need to make sure my vitamin D levels, I'm going through perimenopause. So if you're unsure why you're unable to do stuff and you're feeling low, or the energy is not there, just do three things, and I talk about it in this video right here. So if you're tired, plan this way, and then it will help you, or maybe why you can't get things done. So it just helps you when life still needs you to do stuff, but you're the motivation and is missing. Hopefully this video here will help, so do check that out in the description. So tell me, let me have a look. Where is this one? Okay, what's the number one thing you're excited to work on this week? So type them in the comment section after the live stream so we can all see it, and then that way, we will help. Yeah, sometimes the accountability when you write things down, it's not so much for other people to go, hey, you said you were going to do that. It's to help yourself feel accountable. So tell me in the comment section, what's the one thing you're excited to work on for this week? So make sure to come back for tomorrow's live stream, because I am going to show you how to make your own do-it-yourself prompt card based on that video, where when you have a low energy, when you're not feeling good, when you're not feeling well, it's a little prompt card. So I'll give you a little sneak peek. So I mean, it's there. It's right there. So I created a prompt card that will help me, because then sometimes when I say, okay, just do these three things, and do some gentle planning, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do again? And then, of course, you get overwhelmed and you're in a spiral. So this is, let me see if I can, okay. So it's my gentle plan prompt card. And so I'll show you tomorrow how to make this. This is a do-it based, and this is a laminated sheet, but I'll also show you alternative resources if you don't have the things that I use. So make sure to come back for tomorrow's live stream. So I think it's already up on the on my channel, and just hit that notify me button, because we're all in different time zones. So it'll be on my Monday 5 a.m. for a lot of you, your Sunday afternoon or evening. And I'm going to show you how to make your own little do-it-yourself prompt card to help you during those gentle planning. All right, so we have, hello Laura, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. L 10K steps. Yes, I'm seeing L's your daily or your vlogging channel, listening while packing. Hello Mystical, nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Bar mitzvah prep, excellent. Oh, so many exciting things. So for me, what will be the things I'm looking forward to this, well, setting up May. It's always nice when to set up new planner pages. So make sure that, of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. That really helps my channel. It looks nice. Look, it's vanity metrics. It's just, it doesn't matter whether I have 100 followers or 100 subscribers, or 11,000 subscribers. I just want to be able to show you the things that's helping me manage my overwhelm, and make sure I am being intentional with looking after myself and looking after my well-being. In that way, I can be better. I'm in a better position to help others. And so it's really important that we are making space for ourselves. Susan said, I listen while cleaning off my desk. Yes, that's on my list. Clean my desk drawer. I'm going to listen again while actually using my planner. I won't have to put clean off my desk on the brain dump list. Yay! If you can do something now, do it. And that's fantastic. That is a win. I think you should put that as your victory on your victory log, Susan. You got to clean your desk. I keep been putting the clean my desk drawer for the last couple of weeks, because no one else can see it, and because when you close off the drawer, you don't see it. But I can't open it now because everything's getting stuck inside. So that is on my to-do list. Okay, so I do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining me for today's brain dump session and creating a running to-do list for your task for this week. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comment section what's the one thing you're looking forward to doing this week. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.